Like you look at Greta Van Fleet, and immediately I feel like, at least in that first album, everybody's like, oh, they sound like Zeppelin. I think they were influenced by Sabbath. A lot of people are just hear Robert Plant right off the bat when you hear the kid. And then you have bands like Airborne. It's like, okay, AC/DC to a T, right?
Yeah.
So you guys obviously influenced by these bands when you put out your music, but at the same time, you're looking to put out your own sound. So what type of reaction are you guys hoping for when you're putting out, whether it's the new record coming out on the 26th or any of your old stuff? What are you looking to hear from your fan base when it comes to like the regard of the band's sound?
Yeah, that's interesting. Comparisons, I think, are as annoying as they can be.
Yeah.
They are kind of inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to, put your own thing out there and then someone's first reaction is, sounds like AC/DC. Like, it's like, okay, man, thanks. Like, I spent, 6 months on this. You don't want that necessarily. But also, like, I'm not so naive to know that I'm not going to act confused. Like, what do you mean? It sounds like AC/DC. I get it. But we're also bringing our own thing to it, too. So I think, a little bit of more critical listening, listening past just your first instincts. Maybe try to listen to it with a fresh ear and stop trying to compare it to everything you've ever heard. But again, that's a natural thing to do. We've all heard stuff and we're all going to compare it to stuff. That's just kind of what we do. But, I think it's foolish to think that we're not bringing our own stuff to the table as well. So there's, obvious influences of whoever you want to, discuss. But we're also bringing our own thing to where you can't quite say we sound exactly like A, B, C, or D. Maybe one song leans more towards, AC/DC, one song leans more towards Guns N' Roses, but there's elements of other things within that song as well. And as you listen through the whole album, I think you're going to realize, okay, these guys have more to offer than kind of like a Use Your Illusion.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more going on than just, one thing. So I think that's what we're trying to do. That's the reaction I'd hope for.
I mean, that's a perfect example because that was a totally different record, totally different sound, a lot of different moving parts, at least in a few of those songs. And you obviously being a big GNR guy, I'm a big GNR guy. Slash was your original inspiration to play guitar, right? Like you said, Welcome to the Jungle was your first thing. What certain elements of his craft do you think inspired you at a young age?
It was just the way he phrased everything. It was just different than other stuff I'd heard, and it spoke to me in a way that other people didn't, even that were similar. Like a Jimmy Page. Love Jimmy Page, but his music doesn't, or his solos in particular, don't speak to me the way that someone's like Slash's do. And Slash had that element of speed and technicality as well.
Yeah.
And he didn't come from it at like a robotic kind of maniac way like a Paul Gilbert would, where Paul Gilbert's just a machine. He can't mess up, it seems. Slash comes at it from a more organic way, where the stuff he's playing fast is different and weird and interesting, and it has a lot of, some of it's off time and some of it's, missing notes here and there, and all that kind of adds up to that bluesy, I call it swag, that, a guitar player has.